It's official, like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode.
Like and subscribe.
So the Washington Commanders have just signed Sonny Styles in the 2026 NFL Draft. Yep. They just signed Sonny Styles, man. Which some people said he's the best player, or at least one of the best players in the draft. So, everybody's excited and everything. People started comparing, saying, "Hey, the Commanders have the best linebackers in the game," and this on and on and on. And they got Leo, they got Frankie, and now they got Sonny, and on and on and on and on. They start coming up with all these comparisons, and that's great. Younger, faster, on and on and on. His dad, I remember when his dad used to play for St. Louis back in the day, and they won a Super Bowl in 2000. So his dad was a linebacker. He comes from a football family, and that makes a big difference. So his dad, and that year St. Louis won the Super Bowl that year. I remember that. So he comes from a football family, so he understands, knows the game, knows what it takes to be great, to be a great player. Because his dad was a pretty good player. His dad was a pretty good player. I'm not gonna say he was a great player, but he was a pretty good player. I can say that. He's a playmaker. He was a playmaker for sure. I remember that. So, he said during his press, interview after he got drafted, that he said he was going to be back. He said he wanted to play for the Commanders, and it happened. Everything worked out, so that's cool. So he said, everybody's excited, to see him, play for the Commanders and everything. And I didn't really know they was gonna pick, because Jeremiah Love, he was the third pick. He went to Arizona. When they took when Jeremy Love got drafted, I didn't really know who they was gonna pick. And Tate went to Tennessee. So those are the two players that I thought they had their eyes on. I thought they was gonna pick Tate or Jeremy Love over Sonny, to be honest. But they got picked up early, and Sonny was there. If it wasn't for Sonny, even between it was if they didn't draft Sonny, I probably would think they would draft Downs. That's the only other player I think that was left that they probably would be interested in my opinion. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong on that, but that's just my opinion. Because Downs was still available, Sonny was still available. Now, everybody thought the Giants was going to draft Sonny, but the Giants end up they drafted an offensive lineman instead of Sonny, so they passed over Sonny. So this draft was at least so far first round was very interesting on how things happen. A lot of things that we thought that was going to happen. Most people, including me, it didn't happen. So here we go. He's number one pick, 7th pick overall. Sonny Styles. Welcome to the Washington Commanders. Here we go. I think he'll be I think he's still learning. And I don't think he would disagree with that either. You know, because he made the switch from safety to linebacker 2 years ago. So, you know, and even Adam Peters said he's still learning. He's not at the top. The cup ain't full yet. He's still learning. He still can get better. And being that he was a safety, they think he has an advantage over most linebackers as far as coverages and everything, you know. But hey, we'll see how it goes. Like, share this episode, tell me what you think below, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I'm out.
Like and subscribe.